Hey GenderqueerChat, it's Tuesday and it's Matt, and this week we've got a free-for-all anything goes kind of topic happening, so story time. So the story I'd like to share with you today is about something really cool that happened to me earlier on in the year, back in March, when I got to go to the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras. So if you're unaware, the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras is probably the biggest LGBT-centric event that occurs in Australia each year. And it's basically a week-long celebration of diversity where all different facets of the LGBT community come together. It's lots of parties and different events and celebrations, all culminating in the actual Mardi Gras parade that happens on the Saturday, which is a huge march through the streets of Sydney. So this is my first ever Mardi Gras, and I was fortunate enough, along with the group that I went with, to be able to march alongside in the parade with the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Rights Lobby. So the lobby group float was basically this truck all decked out as the Wizard of Oz. So it was a big truck decked out in green, huge Wizard of Oz face, Wizard of Oz hat, and on the back were all the different characters. So you had Dorothy and Tin Man and Scarecrow and Lion, winged monkeys, Oompa Loompas, all that kind of stuff. So we got to march alongside them, and it was a mad experience. So like nothing I've experienced before. I mean, there was just crazy. Thousands of people along the sidelines all screaming and yelling and clapping and blowing kisses, and there's me with my sign above my head wearing my Gay and Rights Lobby t-shirt and holding a balloon that was bopping this poor guy in the face behind me and getting him a little bit pissed off. But yeah, it was just amazing. We had to get there a few hours earlier into the marshalling area, which was basically just blocked off streets with hundreds of people on the sidelines waiting for the parade to begin, and all the floats lined up and people mingling around getting into costume. And that was such a cool experience. Essentially seeing all the diversity of the people there, so all different sexual orientations represented and gender identities represented and different cultural groups represented and different occupations. So you had like floats for like the police, and you had floats for like legal clerks. There was a gay rugby team and people pole dancing, and yeah, just pretty amazing. As you can imagine, pretty fun, pretty flamboyant, and yeah, it was just a really cool experience to see all of that come together. We were over there for about 5 or 6 days, and during that time we got to go to a lot of different parties, different events. We got to see drag queen races on Bondi Beach, which was amazing. And probably the coolest thing for me was that we got to go to a couple of all-girl lesbian parties. So obviously for me, from a gender perspective, this was an interesting kind of situation. The group that I went with were all lesbian identified people, and I've been able to talk about my gender identity a little bit with some of them, so they kind of understand. So it wasn't really an issue. There was nothing like, oh, you do realise this is an all-girl party or an all-lesbian party, and that was never sort of stated. So I got to go along, and it was fantastic. Obviously, it's a pretty weird experience, being in a room full of hundreds of girls and being the only person with a male-ish kind of body. So it was a bit weird. It didn't cause any issues though. A few people poked me in the back while we were dancing in a kind of what the hell are you doing here kind of way, but nothing came of that. I actually got approached at the bar a couple of times on 2 separate occasions and asked whether I was F2M, which was a pretty strange experience. But all in all, it was just fantastic, and I got to just have fun and dance and be with my friends and feel a part of that group and feel a part of that community. And yeah, I felt like I belonged, and that was a pretty amazing thing to experience from sort of a gender identity perspective. So yeah, it was fun. Mardi Gras was fantastic. I would definitely go again. Maybe not next year because my friends have decided to get married on the very same day, but certainly I'll go again. I think I'd like to see the parade and just watch it from the sidelines. But at the same time, I just know that if I was doing that, knowing what I know, I'd be standing there like, oh, I just want to be in that parade. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So if you have a Mardi Gras in your state, or your country, or a similar sort of event, definitely go. Fantastic to see just everyone come together, solidarity, all different groups and genders and sexualities and cultures and ages, and yeah, coming together as one big community, all for the same reason. And so special to see how many people come and support such an event. So it is really, really cool. Do it. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I had to say. I hope you found that enjoyable. Really interested to see what the rest of the gang have to say this week and what their stories are. And we also have a GenderqueerChat Facebook page, so if you use Facebook and you want to go on there, just type in GenderqueerChat into the search thing, you'll find us, click like, and we'll be updating that with the weekly topic and I don't know, different discussion things, and posting articles of relevance, and you can put stuff on the page, and yeah, it's another way to connect, so join up. And yeah, that's it for me, so See you next week.